Oculus Quest 2 is finally hitting the mainstream, having sold more units than all other Oculus headsets combined. And that's while only having been in the market for less than 6 months. And it's not just that. Oculus Quest 2 is now the most used VR headset on Steam, which is unbelievably impressive considering it's a standalone console that wasn't even originally developed as a PC VR headset. Quest 2 is truly a unicorn of VR, and I'm sure you love yours very much. So it would be a shame if something bad were to happen to it. Hey, this is not a threat. All I'm saying is that you need to know how to properly take care of your VR set, especially because for many of you watching this, Quest 2 is probably the very first VR set that you've owned. And it's important to know how to take a proper care of it so that it serves you well for years to come. Hi, this is Tatiana, and in this video I'll go over some important tips, do's and don'ts about your Oculus Quest 2 to make sure that you keep it in the best condition and take full advantage of it. There will be a lot of useful information packed in this video, and I will leave links to all helpful resources related to those tips in the video description, so remember to check them out. All suggestions that I will be giving are based on my own experiences using Quest 2 since launch, and hopefully they will help you along the way. Make sure to subscribe to DiscoVR if you enjoy informative and useful VR content like this. If you're ready, let's go! First, let's talk about the most important part of your VR set. The lenses. You probably have already heard the most popular piece of advice: don't expose your lenses to direct sunlight. But why is it so important, and why can't you do that? If you let direct sunlight stream into your lenses for a long period of time, the lenses can focus the light and literally burn a hole in the headset's display, causing permanent damage, obviously. Think about how a magnifying glass can focus sunlight enough to burn a hole in a piece of paper. That's the same principle. That's why leaving your headset facing windows is really dangerous. Best make it a rule to always keep your VR set in a case or use lens protectors like this one. The second tip about the lenses is that you should never use any chemicals to clean them. You may come across some sanitizing wipes that are used for computer monitors and phone screens, but you should not use them on your lenses. The best way to clean them is by wiping them with a dry, clean microfiber cloth, or even better, use protective lenses. Check out the video in which I described how to properly clean your Quest 2 for more cleaning tips. Since we talked about the harm of direct sunlight to lenses, let's also talk about playing in VR outside. Technically, your VR set will not get damaged from playing outside as long as you keep your lenses covered. However, you will experience some severe tracking issues if you try to play in direct sunlight, especially in your controllers. And this will make many games like Beat Saber or 11 Table Tennis essentially unplayable. This is because Quest's outward-facing cameras start to have severe difficulty tracking their position in 3D space when there's direct sunlight shining on them. If you really want to enjoy the nice weather while playing in VR, your best bet will be to find a shady space and play there. As long as direct sunlight is beyond your physical reach, you should be fine. As a sub-tip, you can play VR outside even at night if you want to, but for that you will need to buy an infrared illuminator, which will be invisible for human eye but visible for the Quest 2 cameras. They're quite inexpensive, and with it you won't have to worry about finding the right position that's not in the direct sunlight but not dark enough to lose tracking, so you should try it. Playing outside in the sun actually leads us to tip number 4, which has to do with extreme temperatures. You should never expose your Quest 2 or any device that has lithium-ion battery to extreme temperatures, either hot or cold. That means that if you are playing outside and it is really hot, then even if you are in shade, you may be damaging your battery by exposing it to a very hot temperature. Quest 2 performs best at a room temperature of between 68 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit. So for example, if you use Quest 2 at 86 degrees, you will reduce the cycle life of your battery by 20%. And at 100 degrees, the loss jumps to a whopping 40%, and that's terrible for your battery. Same goes for cold temperatures, and I would strongly advise against using your Quest 2 at temperatures below 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Tip number 5 also concerns the lithium-ion battery in your Quest 2. A little known fact is that you should actually avoid fully charging your Quest or letting it drop all the way to 0. The most optimal charge level to keep it to prolong your battery life is around 50 to 60%, and you should start charging it as soon as it drops to 20 and stop charging it when it reaches about 80%. I know it might sound weird, but the is the best practice to prolong the lifespan of your lithium-ion battery. I talk about Quest 2 battery maintenance in a much more detail in this video, so make sure to watch it to learn more. There's tons of useful information packed in that video as well. Tip number 6 is again related to your lenses, but it is also related to your level of comfort. If you wear glasses, then Facebook recommends that you use glass spacers. However, it can be still really uncomfortable because your frames might not fit inside the headset, or if it fits, then it might be pushing against your face too much. And what's even more important, they may come in contact with your lenses and accidentally scratch them, which you absolutely don't want to happen. So the best solution that I have so far is to use these magnetic prescription lenses. The ones that I have are from a company called VR Wave, and I have covered them in a separate video. I think this is a much more comfortable way to play VR if you wear glasses, and even if you don't need prescription, you can still get them as an extra layer of protection to your lenses, like I did. Tip number 7 is related to taking care of your controllers. Straight to the point. You might have seen the tip that describes how you can turn your skinny little stock straps into knuckle straps. Don't do that. Come on, that's pathetic. Invest $15 and buy controller grip covers that include both the silicone skin and the knuckle strap for 2 reasons. The knuckle strap will help you adjust your grip in a way that you're reaching your buttons comfortably, and the silicone skin will protect your sensor rings and your walls from shock damage. For some reason, I see many grip covers online that have no protection over the sensor ring. Even VR cover has knuckle straps that I admit are extremely comfortable, but no protection over the sensor rings is a deal breaker for me. These are the covers that I use. I bought them on my own with my own money, and you can find a few similar ones like these online. I tested them and I have absolutely no issues with the controller tracking because of this silicone cover. It works perfectly fine. I'll put some links in the description, so just try them and make sure that you protect your controllers from any shock damage. It's really going to help you a lot. Now that you have your controller secured, tip number 8 is for protecting your gaming environment. Make sure that you don't draw your Guardian too close to your walls and different objects in your room, because then you might not have enough time to react if you come very close to the edge, and that's how most of the accidents with people's TVs and punching holes in walls happen. Leave just a little bit of extra room between the Guardian and the objects just to be safe. As a sub tip, when you're using VR in a sitting position, I always feel like the stationary Guardian is too small, and every time I extend my arms, I can see that Guardian show up. That's why I actually use a room scale Guardian when I know I'm sitting in the chair and not moving around, and then I just draw plenty of room around me or disable the Guardian whatsoever because I know that I'll be sitting in one place anyway. Just don't forget to turn it back on afterwards. Another tip to protect your environment and yourself: get yourself a foam pad or a yoga mat. This way you will always be aware where you are standing, and it will add an extra measure of safety against going outside of your guarding zone. In addition, you will always know where the center of your play base is just by the texture underneath your feet. Simply search for a VR mat on Google or on Amazon and you will find plenty of them, or you can just use a yoga mat. Tip number 10 is that from time to time you should reboot your Quest 2 to avoid some occasional bugs and glitches that may appear if the RAM is getting filled with some cache and temporary files. All that temporary data will get erased as soon as you reboot your Quest. So if you play VR for a long time and you keep it on without turning it off or rebooting it, you might notice that some slowing down or some glitches that will get solved as soon as you reboot your Quest. That's why when you connect with customer service, one of the first things that they suggest is to reboot your Quest, because in most cases it solves all the minor problems. Tip number 11 is related more to the safety for you, the user, while using Quest 2. Do not use the stock facial interface. This foam has shown to cause severe reaction on some users' skin in about 0.01% of users. And that might not sound like a large number to you, but considering how many units have already been sold worldwide and looking at these pictures, I mean, the problem is obvious. My tip would be not to use this stock foam and instead order a foam replacement from VR Cover. Fortunately, Facebook took responsibility for this hiccup, and if you submit this form, they will send you this super comfortable VR VR cover replacement foam for free. I have a video describing this process as well, and as always the links are in the description below. Similar tip relating to comfort goes to using the head straps. It's not a secret that the original head strap is far from being comfortable, or at least it takes you some time to figure out the best position to make it feel right. I'm not saying it's impossible, I'm just saying it's an unnecessary waste of time. Thankfully, you have a nice selection of straps available for Quest 2, the most notable ones being the Elite strap, iGlow type strap, Halo strap, and of course HTC Vive Deluxe audio strap. Whichever one you will get will be an upgrade compared to the stock elastic strap, but you need to know advantages and drawbacks of each. The quick outline is that if you're on budget, then you should look into the Halo strap or the iGlow strap. However, I would prefer a Halo strap because I find it more comfortable. If your budget is higher, then you can upgrade to Elite strap or even the Deluxe audio strap. Elite strap is very comfortable, especially if you use it with a padding from VR cover, and it fits most of the travel cases, as well as it's quite light. But what it's not very good for is active games. I feel it wobbles around too much, and a lot of people actually have them snapping on the sides when they play active games. Many consider the Deluxe audio strap the most comfortable one, but it is expensive. However, it also comes with this audio solution, which makes all VR experiences so much better. I made 2 video reviews covering all these straps, so make sure to watch them to make the decision of the best head strap for you. Since we have covered the importance of getting a new strap, tip number 13 is that you also need to find a carrying case for your Oculus Quest 2 storage and transportation. Some people recommend using the box that the Quest came in, but that will only work with your stock strap. Different head straps require different accommodation from the travel cases, and the best travel case that I have found to fit all the straps is actually a camera bag. DSLR camera bags come with all these different pads that you can arrange in a way to help you fit any head strap that you may have. In addition, a DSLR camera bag is cheaper than most VR cases, and many of them leave plenty of room for charging cables, power banks, and other accessories. I left a couple of links of the products in the description. Again, those are not sponsored products. I found them on my own and reviewed them in one of my previous videos. Tip number 14 is meant to help you share your VR experiences with your friend or a family member. If you own 2 Oculus Quest headsets, then you need to make one and the same Facebook account the primary account on both of these VR sets. After that, simply logging into one of these headsets with a secondary Facebook account and keep using it from that account. After that, you simply buy all the VR games on the headset with your primary account, and you will be able to share it with your secondary account. That way, you will only need to buy these games once. This is an awesome tip that has already helped so many people save money on games instead of buying one and the same game twice. A video with a more detailed explanation on how to use app sharing is available below. And now here's a tip to help you fight your cyber sickness. Put a fan in front of you, especially if you play a high-intensity game like roller coasters or Population 1, but overall, try to avoid super intense games, especially if you're new to VR, and start with something slow or static like Beat Saber, or use teleportation as your movement method to help get used to the VR environment. But usually putting a fan in front of you helps you orient better, and people say that it really helps them with motion sickness at the beginning. Let me know if any of these tips helped you, and write in the comments any additional tips that you know to keep yourself and your Quest 2 safe. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to DiscoVR for more fun and informative videos. A special thanks goes to my Patreon supporters. You guys are the absolute best. Stay safe, friends, and as always, happy gaming!